Well, there's a little engine. It's number 2. It went together quite nice actually. I thought maybe I'd have a few problems, but no, it worked well. I think everything will be just fine with it. It's got pretty much everything that I did inside. All the rotor pieces are new. I replaced everything. New seals. I never made the ports really bigger, the intakes and that. I just cleaned them up and got them so that they're respectable. Cleaned the rough shit out of them. Shined them up a bit. Air should go through a little better. Little block off plate. Make some plates and stuff, I guess, for it, same as I did the other one. Put a new water pump on it. I will, I haven't done it yet, but those bolts are on there just to seal it up. Get the gasket goo sealed good. All this crap here I block off too. All these switches and low oil, all that crap. Fucking pull the dipstick once in a while, you probably wouldn't need that shit. Little tight. You sure as hell can't turn it over by hand very well. Needs a bit of a wrench on it and then it spins nice. I notice probably lots of them around. I think the rear housing must be a replaced one. I know that, like, you can see quite a difference between the Mazda 13B insignia on it. I'm sure this is a factory, an original, and I would say that's probably was a new one when it was rebuilt in 92. These were all stamped when I took it apart too, front and rear. Yeah, get a block off plate for that too. Polished that aluminum up. I hate fucking aluminum. I hate it. It's awful shit. She gets cleaned once a year. That's all it gets from me. Other than that, it can stay dirty. I don't care. Anyway, there it is. The exhaust ports on the number 1 engine that's in the bike. You can't really see maybe from looking at the video, but the front one, which is that one over there, you can see it was burning cleaner and hotter than the rear. The rear, it's not bad, like there's no gung or nothing on it, but I think that back rotor was a little lazy. I'm going to do a compression test and shit on it. Actually, I'll probably just take it apart, and if nothing else, it'll just cost me a set of seals. I don't really care. It'll be, at least then I know what's in it. Looks pretty clean in there though. I've been kind of looking inside with a light and a mirror. She's not bad. The old girl looks kind of sad sitting here right now. Not much left to it. Just getting ready. The engine's just sitting there actually. It's ready to pull out. I want to get it all out, cleaned up, and then I'm going to redo my frame. I'll clean it up and paint it and make it look like something. That's all I really had time for last year. So I'm going to get rid of my front wheel here too. I'm going to go to I bought a Harley disc for the back. I'm going to take this stuff off, strip her all down, get that wheel out of there. And I have another one up there. That's a smaller guy. He's 2.5 inches wide. At least I think it is. It's not very wide anyway. It's very narrow. But that's the mate to the rear one. So I think I'll put it on. I kind of like those solid wheels. I've never found another set like them. I've looked on the internet and I haven't found a set of solid wheels that don't have phony Allen wrenches or Allen bolts or something on them. 1-inch shaft too. Even on the front one here takes a 1 inch. Same with the rear. So she's fairly heavy. I just need to get a set of rotors, or one rotor, brake rotor to bolt on. I don't know whether I'll use any or not on the back one. I might just dump them off altogether and use my hand control for the rear brake instead of the front. Don't need a front. Front just hurts you. I ran it last year with just front, and tell you boy, you had to be pretty careful there. Things would happen really quick. Bought a cheapo little stand here. It's about the simplest and cheapest thing that I could find. I bought all kinds of shit. I bought one to lift the back end and it couldn't do it. And I bought one to lift the front end and it was just junk. I picked this up at Princess Auto. I think it was 40 bucks or something. You got to crank it up by hand, but it's solid and it stays there and it don't creep. My buddy has a hydraulic lift and it's just a piece of shit. So a little bit of cranking involved there, but I can lift it up just as fast as most guys can with their hydraulic. And it doesn't stick out past. The other ones, they stick out in the way all the time, eh? So I'm going to use that for out on the road when I'm working on it. Had a few oil leaks, little ones here. I didn't take a lot of time to seal this guy up when I did them, obviously. But dirty. She's dirty. There's nothing clean about racing in dirt, boy. Better be prepared to do a little spitting. I'll stick with my ignition. It worked really well for me. Lots of strong sparks, so why change, you know, okay? Find something that works. I think you're better off to stick with it. Okay, there she is. I'm going to change this piece of shit here too. I don't like these filters. I think they're crap. I don't know what the hell I'm going to use or how I'm going to do it, but that filter has to go. When when I'm on the road and I've got this thing revved up like 5-6 grand, if you look, when I look down at it, like this is tight here. You can't move it. You look down at that when you're going 6 grand and it's spinning just like a fucking second-hand clock. So it must be sucking that filter pretty hard. Yeah, so this year I won't have to spend a whole bunch of time manufacturing parts and whatever. A few little things, some bracket for my back brake and whatever. See, that's backwards too, eh? Usually Harleys have their brake on the right side and the chains on this side. But the way my jack shaft and drive and stuff works, it has to be on the other side for the sprocket. So the brake will be on this side. I'll just have to build some brackets and shit to hold the caliper. No big deal. Take a little bit of time. And then I'm going to use the hand control. I'll use this puppy here for the back brake. I don't want a front brake anymore. Not necessary. Not for what I'm doing. Maybe to be legal for the road or whatever. I'm going to keep all that stuff because I would dearly love to get this thing legal for the street so I don't know how the hell I would ever make it quiet enough to run, but exhaust ticket or two might not be too bad. Be worth it, I think. Do a quick rip. That old Holly, you know, it worked nice. I'm happy with it. It performed well. I never used like the enricher and stuff that I put on it there. It's only, heck, a third of the way open. There's no way that I need all the fuel that that thing can supply me. I don't know what I'm going to do with these goddamn secondaries here either. I'll probably wire them open and leave them. I don't need any more bottom end torque. I can burn this wheel off. Actually, I can make her smoke on gravel. She does a pretty good burnout on gravel, as long as there's not a whole bunch of loose shit. But this is what it does to the tire too. I don't know if you can see this very well, but this side's like new, and this side here pretty much burned off, all of them. Even the little side lugs are like that too, eh? But not a bad tire. That's a Kenda tire, and they call it a sticky. It's a fairly soft rubber, but it grabs nice, and guy shouldn't be on gravel with this thing anyway. Should be in dirt. That tire would probably last 2 years if it was in dirt. I'll turn it around though. It's got some pretty good teeth on it there now to dig in for traction. That might be something to do. Cut the one edge out so that it cuts in better. Anyway, there she is. Next time I take one, it'll probably be back together. I'm not gonna take a whole bunch of the same shit anymore.